Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my brother Alex. You know, I've often wondered.
You're not gonna ask me how I'm doing?
No, I've often wondered, like, what would you do? And I've never said this to you, but I've always wondered what would happen if I just started doing the show like you weren't even there. Like I just said, alongside me today, my brother Alex. Now, about the World Series, like, what would you do? You'd be like, hello?
No, I'll wait for you. I'll tag right along. I'll play fifth wheel. I'll play wingman.
One of these days, I'm going to do the entire podcast and not ask you any questions. I'm just going to go solo with you sitting right there, just to see how long it takes you to go, hey, how about you let me talk?
As long as I don't fall asleep, then you're doing all right.
That would be great, though.
If I fall asleep, then
we're doing the podcast and all of a sudden you're snoring as I'm talking about baseball. Yeah. You know what? I forgot today. I forgot the light.
Oh shit!
So it's kind of dark.
It is.
You want to start talking? I'll put up the light.
No, not really.
So go ahead and talk about the World Series or
I don't
football.
The World Series. Well, my prediction was a little off, right? I picked the Astros 4-1.
It's gonna be close.
And it's not quite. I feel like the Astros just played possum. They did. Like, they lost 7-1 to the Yankees in the ALCS, right? And whoa. Let there be light. I look like a ghost now.
You look much better with the light
I look
on.
like I wonder what Sam Darnold would say. If he's watching this podcast.
It looks like
two ghosts.
It looks like the New England Patriots defense.
By the way, he may be fucked up in the head forever. Sam Darnold.
Dude, it's the way that defense is playing, man. There's a few guys that are going to be.
Well, that, and then to come back the next week after, being the meme of the week, and come back and play like that versus the Jaguars. It's kind of like, and to be put on the spotlight, all mic'd up of him saying that. I don't know, man.
Well, we'll go back to football. But you were saying about the Astros. You feel like they're playing possum?
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, they looked dead the first two games of the World Series. They looked out of it in the first game of the World Series, and this is with their top pitchers, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, and then all of a sudden they just turn it on, reel off, 2-3 in a row against the Yankees, now 3 in a row against the Nationals, and
yeah.
I fought the Baby Shark song for the Nationals. I mean, that alone deserves a loss.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad we won't hear that thing anymore.
No, we won't.
I thought that was kind of silly.
Now, did you see the Astros trolling the song?
Oh, jeez.
Now that was clever.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I'm going to have to check that out.
I kind of like
that. It's
that.
funny because last week we did the show before the series started, right? And we both predicted that the Astros would win. I predicted in 6. You predicted in 5. But both of us thought rather comfortably, right?
Yeah.
And today, they're up 3-2, coming back to Houston tomorrow night for tomorrow night's Game 6. And we are in the same spot we were a week ago, where I think, and certainly Vegas thinks, the Astros are comfortably favored to win the World Series. But my oh my, how we got here, right?
Man.
Game 1, Garrett Cole finally loses a game. His first loss since May. The first time the Astros have lost one of his starts since July. And then Game 2, the wheels really fell off. Hats off to the Nationals, right? They played good fundamental baseball. They took the base whenever they could. They were stealing bases. They bunted. They did all the little things. But look, at the end of the day, this Astros team is just too good. They're just better than the Nationals. When you go position by position, player by player, and it's proven out. I mean, the Astros bullpen has been, I think, the key difference. They've just been absolutely lights out. And they went up to D.C. and rattled off 3 straight and took all of the pressure, all of the quote-unquote pressure that was on them, and turned it around I want to say by about the fifth inning of Game 3. It seemed like
Yeah.
halfway through that game, all of a sudden the Nationals felt the pressure of, we're playing a better team. And it's just gone on from there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the difference in the series right now is Game 5 and Max Scherzer not pitching. I mean, it's what if, right? Anything could have happened if Nationals could have still lost if he pitched, but I mean that's that's pretty.
Ross wasn't bad. He wasn't
No,
terrible.
but he's not Scherzer,
Right,
know?
but he's not Scherzer, and there's a certain amount of confidence that comes with having your ace on the mound.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like the turn. I mean, a swing game. I mean, I wonder how bad of a neck injury he has.
I wonder,
because
that's.
I mean, this is a swing game, and I mean, Scherzer is a gamer. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he lays it all out there.
Yeah, he does.
So
I was surprised because I'm with you, right? This is a guy who, bunted a ball off his face and wanted to keep pitching or whatever. So, he is a tough guy, and my guess is that whatever back or neck spasms he had were pretty damn bad.
So
for him to bow out of a start.
I guess we're gonna assume it's over tomorrow night, Tuesday.
I think obviously that's my assumption because I said that last week. But I don't think it's a gimme. If you look at the pitching matchup, really the favorite for tomorrow's game itself is the Nationals. Strasburg has been lights out in the postseason. Verlander, not so much.
Yeah.
Right? Verlander pitched well in one of the games against Tampa. Then got blasted in the next game with Tampa, in his second start with Tampa. He didn't do well in his start, one or two starts against the Yankees.
Right.
And he didn't do well in the first start against the Nationals. So, if you're talking about which pitcher's hot, I think it's pretty clear that it's Strasburg. And, the saying goes, in baseball, momentum is your next starting pitcher.
Right.
That's momentum.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion, but I do think the Astros are going to win. I think it's going to be a competitive game, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I've been high on Strasburg for most of the season,
Yeah,
and now
you have.
But I don't know about tomorrow. That might be the one time he doesn't come through for the Nationals.
It's tough. It's always tough when a team sees you twice in such a short span.
Right.
In less than a week, they're going to see him twice. That tends to favor hitters.
Yeah.
But the Nationals just saw Verlander as well. So, both teams are riding that advantage, so to speak.
Right.
Both lineups will benefit from that. What did you make of the whole strike zone thing last night? There's a lot of chirping about the strike zone yesterday.
Yeah, it's I think it sucks. I'm gonna say this again, man. It's bad for the game. I don't like it. It's annoying. I mean, the strike zone is there for a reason. There's balls that are outside the strike zone being called a strike. There's balls in the strike zone being called a ball. So, I mean, if I either do away with the strike zone so the fans at home can't see it on the TV, and then maybe most wouldn't have a gripe, or I don't know, put robots up there or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's the Yankees got a raw deal throughout the season from some of the calls, and it's continued here in the playoffs for other teams. And I mean, if it's a ball, it's a ball. If it's a strike, it's a strike. But I mean, it's just got to be more consistent.
I think they should. I think TV should do away with the strike zone thing because, first of all, they're not showing the strike zone, right? The strike zone that they're showing is what they interpret the strike zone to be. And if you've noticed, the strike zone is in the same place for every batter. So it's in the same place for Jose Altuve as it was for Aaron Judge. Mm-hmm. And that's not right. That's not the strike zone. The only part of the strike zone that is the same for everyone is the width. The width of the strike zone is the same for everyone. It's the width of home plate. The height of the strike zone is different for everybody.
Maybe they've changed the rule. Maybe they've gone from, okay, let's go, whatever, 36 inches from the ground up, and then that's no matter where the batter's knees are, that's where the strike zone
Yeah,
starts.
but you can't do that because think
Why not?
about it. Well, think about it. You've got a guy like Jose Altuve who's
Right.
5'7" or 5'4" or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you got Aaron Judge who's 6'8".
Right, so his strike zone is going to be bigger.
Not only that, it's going to be higher.
Right, so just make it the same for everybody.
Right, but then you can't do that.
Why not?
Well, because then Altuve is going to have to swing at pitches at his neck. Or Judge is going to have to swing at pitches at his ankles. He's going to have to go up there with a 6-iron.
Yeah, Tiger Woods style.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know.
I think they need to get rid of the strike zone because that's part of the problem. The umpire last night I thought was maybe a little bit off, but for the most part, I think most umpires are consistent. So maybe they all call, an inch or two off the outside part of the plate, but they do it for both sides. So the pitchers and the batters adjust. But this is something that they've learned since they were little kids. My son pitches, and he immediately locks in on what the umpire is calling. And if the umpire is giving him 2 inches off the outside part of the plate, my son's trying to throw there all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, he's a dummy because when he goes to bat, he doesn't swing at those pitches because they're balls. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
And I think in the World Series here, certainly at this level, the umpiring's been consistent both ways. They've been calling it. They've been calling that strike zone the wider strike zone. Last night I thought it was a little bit wider strike zone than we've seen earlier. But the problem is the strike zone that people put out on that Fox is putting on the broadcast is it doesn't move, and it's
Right.
just it's not accurate, and it's not accurate for anyone because it's never tall enough. No strike zone that they show on Fox makes it up to the letters on any player.
I'll say this. When I played Little League, the one thing my coach used to tell me, with 2 strikes, if it's close, you got to swing.
Exactly.
And those pitches were all pretty close.
Yeah.
That looked like balls were called strikes.
Mm-hmm.
They were close. Got to swing.
In that one inning where Garrett Cole was pissed off that he didn't get the called strike, and then on the next batter he did, both of those pitches could have gone either way. They
Right.
were very, very
Yeah.
close. The fact that neither national swung at them I thought was wrong on the Nationals, right? Especially with the amount of movement that Cole has on the ball. I mean, it's insane. That guy, everything he throws moves in a different direction. It's crazy.
I wonder what baseball's going to do about the umpires, because I think they've lost the respect of the players and especially the managers. I mean, they got these managers mic'd up. Aaron Boone went off on the home plate umpire earlier this year. Dave Roberts calling him, "Hey, wake up!" It's a little bit insulting to if I was an umpire, I would feel like shit. I really would. Regardless, I think I'm doing my job, but to be talked like that, by another, another adult, the umpires do not have the respect of the managers and the players at this point.
I hate to tell you this, but it's been that way forever. The difference is that now we hear it because there's mics everywhere and social media, so
Right.
people get the clips and they spread it around.
Yeah, probably.
But I
still.
mean, umpires have been. That's why a lot of these umpires don't care because they've been hearing it forever. It just doesn't bother them anymore. They tune it out, and because the umpire last night, Martinez was pretty harsh on him, and he didn't throw him out. He didn't even say anything to him. He acted like, he had the little exchange with Gomez, but he acted like he didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think about Girardi signing with the Phillies?
that I was going to ask you about that. Look, I'm surprised. How long has he been out? 2 years? I'm surprised it took this long for him to get snapped up. I would have thought everyone would have been putting a call into that guy right away. I think it's great for the Phillies, and I think it's bad for everyone else that had a managerial position open that talked to him and didn't get him, because I think Girardi's a great manager. especially in a situation where he's got a roster with talent on it. And, the Phillies do not have a bad roster. Are there holes? Yeah, absolutely. But everyone's got holes.
The Mets got a better roster than the Phillies. The Phillies don't have a good roster at all. I mean, Aaron Nola's probably the best player. And he wasn't that great this season. He had a good season last year, but not this season.
Yeah, but he's an ace. I think with the right staff around him, meaning manager and pitching coach, it makes a big difference. Mm-hmm. And I think he can be an ace. Look, they've got Harper. They've got Real Muto, who I really like.
That's about it.
Segura's not. I mean, they look. You can't make a.
No, I understand, but not
every team's going to be an all-star team.
Oh yeah, but let's be real. They're not a good team. They finished in 4th place. That's not a good team. It's not a good team. He's a good manager for that team. Why?
Why?
Because for one, they go away from what Kepler was to the Phillies, which wasn't much.
A dummy.
And Girardi can get more out of the players. And I think that's what Girardi really is. He's a good manager. I don't think he's a great manager. He fits better the Phillies than he fits the Mets. Girardi is going to side with the players all the time. He's going to baby them. He's not going to throw them under the bus. None of that shit. He's well suited for the Phillies. Now, does that mean that they're going to go to the playoffs and all that? No, because still the players got to play, and that's not a good roster. Now, if they make some more season moves, then hey, you never know. But as of now, it's not a good roster because it's the same as it was during the season, and during the season, it's a 4th place team.
Right, but it sounds like you want to have your cake and eat it too. Do you place the blame on their performance on Kepler or on the lack of talent?
Lack of talent.
Well, then,
I mean, at the end of the day, that's who plays on the field, the players.
Right, but there is, especially in baseball, there is a lot of managerial stuff that goes into it. In baseball, I feel like the manager and his staff have a tremendous influence on getting the most out of their players in terms of putting them in the right positions, making the right decisions as far as when to pull a pitcher, when to hit and run, when to bunt. I think there's a lot of opportunity to do that stuff. And I think Girardi is very good with a roster that has talent of managing the egos, managing the clubhouse, doing the right things on the field, and getting the most out of the talent that he has. And that's why I think he's good for the Phillies. And I thought he would have been great for the Mets too, because I think both squads have talent. They just have guys that didn't really get the most out of it. I blame more of the Phillies' 81 and 81 season, or whatever their record was. I think it was 81 and 81. 4th place finish. I blame more of that on Kepler than I do on the lack of talent. I don't think that the NL East, the Braves are good, the Nationals are good, the Mets are good. I don't think the Phillies are that far behind that they should have been, basically watching the season happen from mid-July on, which they did. And again, they faded again. Mm-hmm. And to me, when a team fades, it's a manager that can't motivate the guys in the clubhouse, can't keep them going through the dog days of July and August. And that's why I think Girardi is going to be a great fit for the Phillies, and I think he would have been a great fit for the Mets. That's why he was good in New York, because he could handle the pressure, he could handle all the egos, he could handle all the attention, and manage his team through the storms, which is what you need to do. And that's part of the reason why I think teams like the Padres probably didn't even talk to him, right? Because they figure we don't have the talent to pay this guy.
They actually have more talent. They have more talent than the Phillies.
Not than the Phillies.
Yeah, they do. Machado and freaking Tatis Jr.
Okay, and what else?
They have other Hunter Renfroe, outfielder. He's good.
Not as good as Harper.
They got Harper's not that good though.
Come on. I know you don't like him, but Harper.
I don't like him, but he's not that good. I mean, 246 average is not good to me for a $300 million player.
take away the salary. Harper's
No,
a
we
good
can't
ball
take
player.
away the salary. No way. Salary has a lot to do with it. I mean,
His
his
stats are his stats, whether he's getting paid $1 million or $30 million.
Yeah, no, that's a huge difference. I mean, whatever he's getting paid, $30 million a year. I mean, he's expected to perform. Plain and simple. Bat a little more than 246.
The Phillies have a pretty good roster, and I think I think Girardi's going to get a lot more out of that team. We'll see what moves they make. Have you heard anything about who the Mets are going to get?
I have no idea who they're going to get.
Not even a whisper?
I don't even know. I mean, regular season doesn't start until March or April, so they got time.
Yeah, but you kind of want to get someone in there and figure it out. Because you got to start making off-season moves starting
It doesn't matter
tomorrow.
I mean, it really doesn't matter who the manager is.
Thursday.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, at the end of the day, the players got to go out there and perform. Doesn't
Then
matter
why do they have them?
I have no idea. I don't know. That's a
They
great
even wear a
fucking question.
uniform.
That's a great
They're
question.
ready to play.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why don't they just wear suits and ties like the NBA coaches?
I've always wondered, but to me, it's one of the cool things about baseball. But I have always wondered why. You know why? Back in the old days, they, the player manager thing was much more common. I mean,
Right.
and when I say the old days, I'm talking about like 1800s,
Yeah.
1880, right? Like before they had black players in baseball, way back then, right?
1800 BC.
Yeah. But no, I think the manager makes a big difference. I think it's going to make a big difference for the Phillies. I'm curious as to what the Mets are going to do. The Mets have traditionally gone the cheap route, which even though they immediately mentioned Girardi, I knew they weren't going to get him because the Mets do not. The Mets never spend money on a manager, so it doesn't surprise me. But we'll see. Hopefully they'll do something. So do the final say. Astros win it tomorrow night? Or will we see a Game 7?
Yeah, I guess they finish it off. I don't know, man. 3 straight at home, only scoring 3 runs in those 3 games for the Nationals. I mean, that's got to be. Now you gotta travel.
Yeah.
Away. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
I said it last week. Astros in 6, so of course I think they're gonna win tomorrow.
Yeah.
But of course they're gonna win tomorrow.
Of course.
I said it a week ago.
That's right.
Just call me Nostradamus. Did you catch any football over the weekend?
No, just the 1 game per usual, and that's about it.
You know what's funny is we talked about this a couple weeks ago so there's 2 undefeated teams left, right? The Patriots and the Niners.
Right.
And a couple of weeks ago we talked about this, who was going to be the last undefeated team. I said the Niners would lose this weekend to Carolina. The Patriots I thought had it easier. I think they played the Jets and then the Browns. But lo and behold, they're still both undefeated.
They're both undefeated.
So we'll ask again. Who do you think is going to be the last undefeated team?
The Patriots. I think the 49ers they don't have such an easy schedule.
Well, the Patriots...
They got the Ravens. I think they got the Chiefs, the Packers. I mean, they play some of the tougher teams.
Next week, the Niners play the Cardinals.
Right.
And the Patriots play the Ravens.
Right, on Sunday night.
And, if I'm not mistaken, that game's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I think the Niners are going to be the last undefeated team.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like the Patriots are going to get tripped up by the Ravens.
I don't see it.
And then week 10, if they both survive, you go out into the next week. Let's see, what do we have?
I think the Niners have a real
The
tough
Niners
schedule.
play the Seahawks on Monday night. The Patriots have a bye. So if the Patriots can survive this week, then the Niners go down the following week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know.
So that'd be interesting to see how it shakes out. What game did you watch yesterday? Your beloved Giants?
Only the Giants.
What did you think?
I think we suck. think Pat Shermer needs to be fired.
That bad.
That bad. Look, the Niners have Packers, Ravens, at Saints,
Yeah, but
Rams,
that's further down the line.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying that they're gonna lose one of those. And if we look at the Patriots schedule, they still have the
Dolphins, Jets.
There you go. Yeah, I think the 49ers will lose first.
Well, this coming week, I
That's
think
a tough schedule.
this coming week we can agree the Patriots have the tougher game. Sunday night
Yeah.
in Baltimore is a lot tougher than the
Yeah, but how many
Cardinals
times
anyway.
have we said, man, this is a tough week for the Patriots, and they make it look pretty
How
easy.
many times have we said this is a tough week for the Niners and they're still winning?
Never, because we just started talking about them last week.
Man, they beat the brakes off Carolina.
They sure did. They
Started slow, but
They've come out of nowhere, man. They really have.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer they can keep it up. And, this is all defense. It's funny because both teams are winning with defense.
Yep.
So, and, the Saints are probably the quietest 7-1 team out there.
I know. What did we say when Drew Brees went down? We thought they would go 2-2 if he was going to be out 4 weeks, or
No,
3-3.
I thought they would be.
Done.
No, you thought they would be. I thought they would stay afloat with Teddy Bridgewater.
But
'Cause I thought he and he did all right.
Well, yeah, they did.
But
They did awesome.
But they've been winning with defense too.
Yeah, the one game they lost was the game Brees went down
Right.
to the Rams. They went undefeated the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So they went 4-0 without Drew Brees,
That's
which is pretty impressive.
it is.
And people are talking about. I saw people were talking about who's going to win the NFC, the Saints or the field. And I'm like, well, you always take the field, right? Because anything can happen.
Do you?
I mean, look, the Saints look great, but I would still take the field because in the field I have the Niners,
Right.
who are looking good, the Packers, who look really good,
Right.
the Vikings, who look pretty darn good,
Yep.
the Seahawks, who can be a real pain in the ass come playoff time. Those are 4 teams.
This year
The
though.
Saints are 1 team.
Yeah, this year though, I think I take the Saints.
Really?
Yeah, man. I think. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but
jeez. Here we go.
let me tell you, man, they owe them one. They owe them
What are they gonna
one.
Give them a touchdown every game?
I don't know. Did we think that they were gonna, the NFL owes them one, bro?
Come
Man,
on,
look.
it's not like that. You're such a conspiracy theorist.
All right, man. This is the NFL we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past.
This is the NFL. This isn't your little mom and pop league.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The shit is damn near. It comes off as being fixed.
Only to conspiracy theorists like you.
That's the same thing the Packers are saying. I'm telling you, or the Lions, or whatever.
No.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
I do.
The officiating, it's
horrible.
It seems like every single week, there's just all this talk about the officiating. It's really kind of, it's kind of sad that seems to be the only topic of conversation.
So this season, I've usually when after I watch the Giants, I'll go ahead and watch another game, 4:00 game or whatever's local. But the officiating was bad in yesterday's game versus the Lions. And then, like all the other games, there's always something with the refs. Honestly, it's gotten to the point where I don't really care to watch because I've said it a million times before. Some team is going to get screwed from either advancing in the playoffs, going to the Super Bowl.
Making the playoffs.
It's going to happen. It's just every week there's something.
I feel bad for the head coaches, right? Because they're the ones that get fired, right? Like we talked about that. We talked about this last week. Patricia out in Detroit, right? Like, now they got the win yesterday, but they could have kept skidding after that Packers game, and he ends up losing his job. He ends up getting fired at the end of the season because they didn't make the playoffs, and the owner thought they were good enough to make it. And part of it is because they went on a tailspin because the referees decided to call those hands to the face in that game against the Packers. Sometimes it does. It kills momentum, and sometimes it creates the wrong momentum, right?
Well, here's the thing. The coaches are allowed now to challenge the defensive pass interferences. Fine, cool, challenge it.
Worthless.
But the refs can't. I mean, what are they? I question now if they're actually looking at the replay, because some of these are clear as day that it's defensive or is it's not defensive pass interference, or it is defensive, and they don't change it. So what's the point of even challenging?
We talked about. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. It seems like the referees have said we can have replay for in and out of bounds, knee down, fumble, not fumble. We can have replay for all these things. You are not going to police me when it comes to judgment calls like defensive pass interference. Yeah. And I think they've gotten together and said, we're not going to overturn any of them. Because at the end of the day, no one can interpret the amount of physical contact on a particular play.
Yeah, could be.
And I think it sure feels like that's what they've done.
Yeah.
But, such is life. And so are you off the Browns bandwagon now?
Where did it make a stop here? I must have missed it.
It stopped and said, everybody off.
I missed it. It never came looking for me.
It's unfortunate, right, that we're going to sit here and kind of bash on them after having to play the Patriots, who are, a great defense. But, look, yesterday, they didn't look prepared. They didn't look like they were ready to play. When you have a bye week and you're playing the best team in the league and you have, 3 turnovers in the first quarter? You just can't. You're not prepared. You're not prepared to play the game, and that's on the coaching staff, and that's on Kitchens. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you haven't prepared your guys to play, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
And,
but
again,
that's what makes the Browns the Browns.
I blame the hype machine, right? Because we got sold this bill of goods.
Yeah.
The Browns have all this talent. They're going to be oh so good. Nope, that's not the way it's looking. It looks like they're the same old Browns, and they still need a little more maturing to do.
But I wish I would have put some money down on every Bills game. I've predicted their exact results, win-loss. So
have you
far.
really?
I have, yeah.
Now, wait a minute.
I need them to win for me to be 8 for 8.
Now, we had this discussion, right? So our bet is 5-3 is a tie.
Okay.
Right now they're at 5-2. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
they got the Redskins. So I mean, that's
they got the Redskins next week.
That's a gimme.
That's not looking good. That's not looking good for me.
That's a gimme. So
is it at Washington?
It doesn't matter. It could play on the moon, and Washington will lose.
Oh no, it's in Buffalo.
Is it?
Shoot, I'm going to lose my bet.
So after next week, I'm going to predict their next 8 games. Because I've already kind of looked at their schedule.
The week after that, they play the Browns.
Oh, I
in Cleveland.
I might as well predict that right now.
But it's in Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland?
And they'll be prepared for that because they'll be at home. They'll have more time to prepare.
Right, yeah. Right.
They won't have to travel, so they'll be able to actually get ready to play the football game.
Yeah, they sure do play the Bills.
Man, I need a 1-7 Redskins team to go to Buffalo and upset the 5-2 Bills in order to win my bet.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'm gonna have to hear about you.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No,
for you.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
So we'll see. The Bills. I mean, they got a good defense.
No, look, and they're doing well. I mean, they're not. They're doing well.
If they go 6-2 here in their first 8, I mean,
they
really have the look of a contender right now, but a pretender in the second half.
Yeah, but I mean, 6-2 sets you up for a playoff run, which good things can happen.
And in the AFC, you have a chance,
exactly,
because it's not very good.
I completely agree with that. So let me ask you: Did the Eagles save their season yesterday by winning that game?
Oh. Anytime you have a good quarterback, you have a chance. And again, I'm going to say it. If the wide receiver's biggest problems are not catching footballs, I mean, you can fix that all the time.
Yeah.
You can fix that. They should be all right. They're gonna struggle with the. It's gonna come down between them and the Cowboys.
Oh, for sure.
And whoever doesn't win a division is probably gonna be left out.
Well, yeah, because you've got too much.
Too many other teams.
You got too many other teams. You got the Saints are pretty much by themselves in the South, but you've got.
Well, the Panthers are still. I think they're 5-3.
Are they 5-3? 4-3.
4-3.
So yeah, they're still in the fight, but you got the Packers and the Vikings very clearly atop the North now. We're starting to get some separation there. The Lions are 3-1. The Bears another heartbreaker, just not scoring.
Or making field goals.
So they're 3-4. So things are starting to look dicey there. And then out west, you've got three teams out there, right? You've got the 7-0 Niners, 6-2 Seahawks, 5-3 Rams. Who the Rams are quiet at 5-3.
Yeah.
Because we expected them to be a lot more, but they've been not great. So, yeah, it is win the division or bust. I think in the NFC East.
Yeah.
It's been that way. It seems like it's been that way for a few years now.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time two teams, maybe 11 when the Giants and the Cowboys both made it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember the last time two teams made it
It's a tough road.
From the East. So.
It's a tough road. And in the AFC, man, the Chiefs need Mahomes to come back. They need him to come back quick.
It doesn't look like they did all that horrible yesterday with Matt Moore.
No, they didn't. But they didn't. They didn't look
like the
dangerous
Chiefs
all game. You know what I mean?
Oh, taking a quote from Baker Mayfield there.
Is that what?
Yeah. A while ago, he said, "I woke up feeling dangerous today."
Oh,
and
that was completely unintentional.
Yeah, I can't remember, what the question was or where that led to, but it was like a meme, and yeah.
Yeah, well, they are not nearly as dangerous without
Mahomes.
Without Mahomes, I mean, they're still good, and they've got that division, pretty much. They're pretty much in control of that division. The South is getting interesting.
I think by far that's the best. It's just going to be two teams. It's the Texans and the Colts. It's the Texans and the Colts.
The Jaguars are 4-4.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, but
the Titans are 4-4. They're only one game back.
Yeah, but I think when we look at the quarterbacks, all four quarterbacks, I think Watson and Brissett are they're better than.
They're the class of that division for sure.
Yeah. So
compared
anytime
to Minshew and whoever Tennessee decides to go with on any given week, it's amazing that Tennessee, with the poor quarterback play that they've gotten, is 4-4.
Their defense is like really good.
Their defense is legit.
Their defense is really good. So
they've also had a bit of an easy schedule. They got the Browns, they got the Falcons. They beat the Chargers and they beat the Buccaneers yesterday. The Buccaneers aren't great. So they've got an easier schedule. The rest of the way, they got to go to Carolina, then host the Chiefs and the Jaguars, then the Colts, the Raiders, the Texans, Saints, and Texans again. So their second half is much more difficult than their first half.
Did you see the Saints' schedule the rest of the way?
No.
Oh, man.
Is it easy?
It looks so pretty for them. I mean, they could really just go 15-1. Their hardest games are against the Colts and I can't remember the other team. The Colts and the Chiefs maybe, but those games are at home. They play at the Crockpot. So
they got the Falcons.
Win.
Then they have to, and that's at home.
Doesn't matter where they play.
God, Quinn's got to get fired soon.
Hopefully at the next podcast we say Quinn finally got fired.
I feel bad for that guy, but I mean, there's just no way.
The writing is on the wall.
He's a Black Monday casualty for sure if he doesn't go before the end of the season. Then they go to Tampa Bay, which traditionally they have not done well in Tampa.
No, they have not.
Then they host the Panthers. Then they get another matchup with the Falcons. There's another W. Then they host the 49ers.
Then
they host the Colts.
Right.
They have to go to Tennessee and to Carolina. Yeah, that's not a terribly difficult schedule.
No.
So.
Huh?
Did you hear the comments from Joe Flacco, who was upset with the play calling? Did you hear about this? I thought this was hilarious.
No, not really.
So late in the game,
Flacco's still a quarterback?
yeah. So late in the game, the Broncos get the ball and they get all conservative, trying to hold on to their 2-point lead or 1-point lead, whatever it was. They end up obviously giving the ball back to Indianapolis. Indianapolis goes down the field, and they don't get too close, but they get close enough for Adam Vinatieri to kick a field goal and win the game. Mm-hmm. After the game, he's all kinds of riled up. He doesn't understand why we don't take more risks. Hey, Joe, they don't take risks because of you. Right? You're the reason they're not taking risks. You're not that good of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror, bro. I thought that was hilarious.
I'm surprised he still has a job.
I know. I don't
know who else their quarterback is. I mean,
some other
John
name.
Elway? I don't know.
You know, he's probably got a better chance than Joe Flacco of driving him down the field.
Denver's problem is John Elway. I don't know. He doesn't know how to put a team together.
Apparently not.
He really doesn't.
Apparently not. The defensive side of the ball is great.
I can see them losing Von Miller at some point.
Well, yeah.
Because
they're giving up. They're probably not even giving up 20 points a game. I mean, defensively they are good, but they can't score worth a lick.
Yeah.
And Joe, you are the problem.
Come on, Joe's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, man.
That may be, but
he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
So is Roger Staubach, but we wouldn't put him in to be the quarterback. Joe Namath is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We wouldn't put him in instead of Darnold, although it might help.
Well, he guaranteed, so I mean, he guaranteed a Super Bowl victory.
Let's see.
Are you looking at Denver's schedule?
They've given up 24, 16, 27, 26, 13, 0,
Damn.
30, and 15.
Shit.
I mean, they
that's
have
not bad.
Their defense is doing the job. They've only given up 30 points once.
Yeah.
Which in today's NFL, that's pretty darn good. So yeah, it's an offense problem. Which, Joe, you're the problem.
And they just traded away Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
To the 49ers.
That's another reason why
Yikes.
they're conservative. They're trading away offensive assets.
Damn, the 49ers got Emmanuel Sanders.
And the Patriots got Sanu.
Sanu. Well, see, I don't put too much stock in that because they may not ever use him.
True.
Like, they traded for Brandon Cooks. He didn't get used none during that first year. In the second year, he did, but not, I mean, you can look at it two different ways, but I think the Niners trading for whatever was his name. Sanders is more valuable. But
yeah, the Broncos are a mess. What else you got from the world of the NFL?
Nothing really. I got nothing.
Podcast number 99 for us.
99.
Any famous 99s? I feel old every time I think about this number thing. I always end up picking somebody from like the 80s. Like when I thought 99, the first person that popped into my head was Dan Hampton from the Bears, from that Super Bowl winning defense that the Bears had in 1985.
Ronald McDonald. Aaron Donald.
He's 99?
He's 99.
Why did I think he was 90?
I hope he's not. Is he?
No, he's 99.
Is he?
I think so.
Are you sure? Do we have to look this up?
No, I'm not sure. But I think that's why I didn't think he was 99. I thought he was 90. But now that you say it, I think he is 99.
I think he is. Oh, Warren Sapp.
Oh, that's a big name right there.
Can't forget what that end zone celebration.
Exactly. It's funny. 99. It seems like an iconic number, but it took us a while to get to one that was really famous.
Internet's slow, so I'm not getting nothing. I'm pretty sure Donald is a 99.
I'm going to agree with you. So, the Aaron Donald episode.
That's right.
You got anything else, buddy?
Nah, man.
Shout out?
Damn. I'm going to shout out 3 people. Over the weekend,
3 people?
They did something for a good cause.
I always like to hear that.
Yes. Nothing better than seeing some flashing breast for Breast cancer awareness. Shout out to those 3 ladies.
Was it 3? I only saw 2.
I think it's 3 of them. Yeah, only 2 of them had the cojones to flash. The other one, I don't know. I think it's 3 of them though.
That's hilarious. I'm waiting for them to be exposed on Twitter.
Oh, for it not really being that's the reason?
No, I
What do you mean?
I want them to become famous.
Oh.
Get their 15 minutes of fame.
Oh, I think they're gonna get famous.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, I've seen the clip,
Right.
but I haven't heard like them getting on in front of a camera, on TV and going, "Yeah, we did it for XYZ reason or whatever."
Yeah, I really wonder if it's true that's why they did it.
Oh, is that what's come out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
yeah. That's what I said. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. What I do find
Was
funny.
Cole distracted by it?
Apparently not. Maybe the umpire was because he wasn't calling balls and strikes the right way.
He's looking behind him.
But this is what I find funny. So one of the girls posted a letter, air quotes, from Major League Baseball saying, that they're banned from all future Major League Baseball games.
They already got this letter?
That's what I
From
find
last
funny.
night?
I saw the letter last night that was posted on the internet. So I'm like, how the hell did they get a letter that fast? Did they give it to them right then and there on their way out?
Like the ushers at the stadium are all walking around with these
Yeah.
letters in their pocket. Letters for flashers.
Like, did Manfred go straight to them and kind of take a little peek and say, "Oh, by the way, here's your letter. Don't come to my baseball
Maybe
games
Trump
anymore."
noticed them and executive ordered somebody
That's what it was. All right, impeach that motherfucker.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. I didn't catch it during the game. I guess
I
was
didn't see
doing
it
other
live.
stuff, but
I wish I would have.
shout out to them for making themselves famous
Yes.
some way, somehow.
Pretty
I
much.
do not have a shout out.
Pretty
Shout out to Tiger Woods for winning a tournament and tying the record for most tour wins by anybody. 82 career victories, which in golf, if you think about it, that's a lot.
Where the hell was this tournament at?
I don't know. I've never even heard of it. The Zozo tournament?
What the?
Whatever. He won. It's a PGA Tour event, so it's real.
But it's like overseas, right? Because there's a time difference.
Oh, well, I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. But, regardless, 82 wins.
No?
If you win 4 times a year, if you get 4 wins in a year, that's pretty darn good.
Oh yeah.
4 times a year, that's 20 years of winning tournaments. I mean, that's incredible when you think about it.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, 82 is a big number. I saw a stat. If you add up all the players' wins in the top 10 right now, guess what the total is?
80?
79.
Oh wow.
Tiger Woods by himself has more wins than the entire top 10 at the moment.
Damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's crazy. We
that-
forget how good he was
Yeah.
because it's, I guess, past his prime now.
What's more impressive, that stat or his fall off?
That stat.
The stat?
I don't. His fall off was because of injury and personal life. I mean, and it's not like he's not like Doc Gooden, who had 2 or 3 good years and then completely fell apart. He had a long run.
Yeah.
And his body started breaking down. And, maybe there were some extracurriculars as well that didn't help matters. But overall, it's not like he was a flash in the pan and fell apart.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah.
hats off to him. Alrighty, folks. With that, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast, episode 99. If you want to get a hold of the show, you want to interact with us, you can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy, how do they do that?
On Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1.
Sounds good. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach out to me on Twitter as well at eMontana21. Another one in the books, man. Next one will be episode 100.
Damn.
Crazy.
That's a lot of podcasting.
That's a lot of talking. Until then, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.